Hey everybody, Coach Stacy Lynn here. Remember my whistle? Do you remember it? It's been a while since I brought it forth, but today I thought I would bring it forth for a special reason. And that is because I want to remind you that I am here to stand with victims. And I'm here to stand with people who are generally ignored at times like this. What times like this are we talking about? We're talking about the time of the passing of an abusive man, and that would be Pastor John MacArthur. You know, I have discussed John MacArthur on this channel before, and what I can tell you is that his cult like following will come and they will pounce on you. I've been watching them pounce on Julie Roys, who has reported the truth about John MacArthur's history. And I have had them attack me, just like I have had Perry Stone followers attack me. And for what? People like to just simply attack and they don't want to look at the truth. And the truth is, John MacArthur wasn't a pristine man of God. He just wasn't. And he has a lot of victims, a lot of people were abused by this man. Um, just because somebody has a big following and just because somebody can read the Bible and twist it, which is what he did with his Lordship Salvation theology, just because all of that doesn't mean that the things that he did that were abusive and frankly evil should be forgotten. So I don't have the time today to make a long video and highlight these things, but here's what I'm going to say. And I'm here to say it on behalf of his victims. And I know there are a lot of you out there. And I want you to know that I see you. When you talk to me, I hear you. I validate your experience being abused by John MacArthur, whether it was from the pulpit when he was insulting women, whether it was through other things when he was abusing Beth Moore at a conference, whether it was vicariously watching Eileen Gray get shunned and thrown out of the church when she did nothing wrong, or just that feeling that maybe you have had to deal with because John MacArthur defended a pedophile, a person who actually sexually abused children. He defended, protected, he knew about it and never repented of it, even after his own leader confirmed the facts of what this man did. And a lot of people are saying, well, we shouldn't talk about this because he just died. He isn't even buried yet. And I'm like, excuse me? Since when does that matter? This man went into eternity knowing what he did with a hard heart, not seeking forgiveness or reconciliation with people that he harmed. And it's not just her, it's a lot of people. And I really do believe, and I know others are saying it too, I really do believe more people are going to be coming out of the woodwork and they're going to talk about what has happened with John MacArthur. Because he wasn't the man of God everybody in his cult likes to purport. Normal people can see it. People who are mesmerized and in his cult can't. And it is a cult because these people can't think clearly and look at the facts, and they are quick to defend this guy who protected somebody who sexually harmed children. So if you have a shepherd up there who was protecting somebody who was not only being abusive to his wife, but sexually abusing children, and he didn't want to repent of that, he violates his fake theology in that alone. Um, you know, one day every Christian is going to sit or stand at the bema seat of Christ, the judgment seat of Christ. And everything that we've done as Christians before Jesus is going to be tested by fire. And what's left is what we will get rewarded for. John MacArthur didn't teach that because he doesn't believe it. And, he doesn't believe in once saved, always saved. He believes this works-based salvation and lordship salvation that he popularized, even though other people before him did. And here's the thing, I wonder how much of everything John did here on this earth is just going to go up in smoke. And what will his reward be then? I don't know about you, but I would rather have fewer known works and have them tested by fire and have them stand, knowing that I stood with children and women and men who people like John MacArthur abuse. And it's not popular to stand with victims, and it's frankly not very popular to call it out because people like to rally around their hero, the one they really worship. And dare I say, so many of John MacArthur's followers worship him and not Jesus. Because if they actually took the time to worship Jesus, they would see that Jesus cared a whole lot about women and a whole lot about children, and he never talked down to either one. And he did everything he could to protect them. So, just a quick message to those of you out there who are probably angry because you're looking at how this man of God is being praised all over the place. But no, in the end, just like with what happened with Ravi Zacharias, God knows. And in the end, only Christ has the power to reward accordingly. And you are not unseen by him. One of my favorite names of the Lord is El Roi, depending on your accent. It could be El Roi, depending on, but I believe it's El Roi, which means the God who sees me. And you know who it was that name showed up for? It was in the story of Hagar, or some would say Hagar, depending on. I know some Jewish folks that I studied the Bible with, and they said Hagar, so I'd say it's Hagar, but whatever. Anyway, point is that God sees and God knows and God will repay accordingly. And his judgment is just and his words are pure. So today, survivors of abuse of John MacArthur, I am with you. I am standing with you, and I will speak on your behalf because so few will. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Because in the end, God is just and he knows. And he knows exactly who John MacArthur was. And he will repay accordingly, just like he will for all of us.